Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Pugmire Pioneer Puppers, episode 23, the coronation episode.
Woo!
23.
I think it was
23.
23 in. Dear God.
Oh, wait. I mean 33.
33?
Yeah,
I was about to say, because I'm
yeah,
like,
I brain
something's
farted.
not wrong.
It's been a day.
Yeah.
33.
We
Yeah.
are almost 50.
We
We're like-
are close.
Dear God.
Whoa.
That was a stand of emotions.
So I have, I've been busy finding maps and things.
Mm-hmm.
So, copy and drag yuns over because we are going to start with the big one.
The big one, you say?
The coronation of King
shit.
Bayo.
Oh, shit. Oh, we're jumping away from family trauma time.
Oh, this has to happen before the ball.
Oh, I meant where we left off last session with our mom.
Oh, we are going to get into that, but I had to show this off to you.
Oh, I thought we'd escaped. Oh, I like the horses. Are those supposed to be statues of man?
Yeah, we'll go with
Oh,
that.
shit. Oh, shit. Hell yeah.
Let's just
I
say
thought we
Google
were
is your
staying-
best friend.
It really is your best friend. Are those
Looks
angels up at the throne?
Yes,
Listen,
Oh, shit.
it's so
Boy.
fitting for Brianna.
it really is. I was going through Google Images, and I seen the horses, and I'm like, yes, Brianna will love this.
Right. I think
So
it's
many
a
things.
fun contrast to her fur color, too. It's a very bright room. Her
Mhm.
colors are kind of dark.
So we will
To
go-
have a sibling who loves horses and one who fucking hates them.
Yep. So with that, we will go back into the drama from where we left off last time, which shouldn't take too long. So, yes, last we left off, your mother and your maternal grandparents had shown up at the end of the evening when everyone was basically just collapsing into a chair.
The energy was so high in the room, and then
It
they
was.
showed up. Everyone was going to get details. Now every single pup is just tense.
You better still get details, just saying.
Details.
So they were approaching us, Talon.
Yep.
What are
as
our
we left
grandparents
off,
like?
Your mother was hugging the three of you, and your grandparents, they are mixed in sizes. They are both Pomeranians, but your grandfather is. He couldn't be more than probably a head taller than Alexandria.
Oh, he's tiny.
Your mother, however, is about 6 inches taller than Brianna.
I think Brianna, it's just, she's not aggressive about it or anything, but I think, kind of lifts maybe the arm that's maybe holding on to her, like, kind of gently off, pats it, but then just takes a gentle step back and, like, kind of puts her, like, crosses her arm in front of her, and she waits.
I think when Brianna goes to step back, Alexandria will follow.
She nods her head, and I do realize I have been absent, and I've had many things to deal with concerning your father and my position and everything in life.
What's her first name again?
We never actually... Did we actually come up with a name?
No, I think we did. I think it was just like Annabelle or Isabella or
Yeah, I think it was
something.
Isabel.
Isabel.
It's like one of them.
Yeah, we'll go with Isabel.
Isabel
Isabella.
until we retcon it later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever. Isabella's fine.
So I kind of look at her and I at least I think most of us kind of figure out there's some shared trauma. And while I know it's not all you, it's still a little hard.
I do understand that, and I know it won't make up for it, any of it, but if you will have me in your life, I would be pleased and more than happy to share myself, and my parents are also more than happy to share in your life.
I appreciate your effort of showing up. I think for me, I'd like to see how your relationship grows with my siblings before I see how your relationship grows with me.
She actually backs up a step and gives a curtsy to you, Brianna.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
She is actually showing true difference. This is more not as a mother, but more as a subject to the king.
I kind of just like curtly nod my head.
I will respect all of your wishes, and I do know that this will be hard, but I had to work out my own issues before I could come and face you all.
Mhm.
Well, that is understandable. There likely would have been better times for you to come and pay a visit if you were going to pay one.
We sent the letter already, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Alexandria sent the letter personally.
It
Okay.
took an hour to get there, and yeah, she rushed over with her parents.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of looks back at them. To be frank, I probably would have took more time to come, but your grandparents wished to make themselves known, and they pushed me out of the house.
Can I make a notice check to see how they're looking at Brianna? Or did they want to push that for status, or did they want to push that because they
I think we're all making the same kind of check. Like there's a reason why
Yes,
I was
go
also
ahead,
like, I'm
roll
awake.
Notice and sense motive.
Okay, I'll start with the sense motive.
I'll start with a sense motive, and I'll then go into notice.
Okay, anyway. Sorry. 19, baby.
Woo!
And
Oh, we both got the same. Both got the same for our notice.
Yep.
Look, sibling sense is going on.
We're both like, I imagine like both the girls are beside each other. Alexandria's kind of got like a protective step forward in front of her sister.
Yeah,
It's
because
subtle.
I think part of it is like being that siblings, same thing and all. But you, I think for sure of being the one most, let's say, step forward with like customs and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Brianna's just very cognizant of what her position is now, and like while she is incredibly friendly, she does understand that like boundaries have to be made somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also gonna roll since Rosabella's
It is
there.
open to whoever wants to.
Gotcha.
They're not a security threat, you know that much.
You're not gonna kill her.
Okay, well, Rosabella, I guess, is just more focused on the girls, and she is focused on the mom and the grandparents. She is more watching how Alexandria and Brianna are reacting compared to anybody else.
With your sense motive checks, there is something immediately apparent about your maternal grandfather and grandmother. Number one, grandmother rules the roost. You can see as her body language is prominent and open, but not in a sinister way, more of just pure confidence and dominance, while your grandfather is kind of reserved and held back a bit. With the notice checks, neither one of them seem to be hiding any ulterior motives, especially considering that your grandmother's tail is going a mile a minute. She is just pleased to see you.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I think with that, Alexandria it's a quick, subtle look, a shared like sibling look of they are not our threat currently.
Mhm.
Before she
I
kind
think
of.
Brianna would nod to that, but I don't think her posture is going to change.
Mm-hmm. I do think going forward, if you are to call on us, considering the fact that, I mean, no offense, but we have no experience with either of you and our relationship with you, Mother, I would prefer if you give us an advanced warning as you would for any other family of nobility.
Of course. This was. She pointedly turns to her mother and wasn't exactly my decision. I was going to go through the proper channels, but someone decided it would be best to load us into the carriage and rush over right away. Especially considering the yowling of, I have grandchildren that I never heard about?
You never heard of us? I always assumed that you had been informed.
Your grandmother Humps, and, well, your, good for nothing father was rather adamant about not allowing any letters to leave the house. We were essentially cut off as soon as they were wed.
That being said, perhaps if I was in a different position, I could be more easygoing. But what I am open to and reasonable is you know, as I've mentioned to Isabella, that you make bonds with my siblings. And I will see about meeting with you all in the future.
They give a respectable nod. They're kind of too old to bow and curtsy. We will, of course, follow your wishes. However, they the grandmother snaps, and a servant. You're not sure if it's a butler or a maid. It's quite hard to tell through all of the fur. Comes forward holding several parcels. The first one, of course, my lady Brianna, King of Pugmire, and there is a box presented to you. And, of course, Duchess Alexandria, and, of course, our legal eagle Fiona. We have gifts for the rest of your siblings as well, but most of them are not in attendance, so we will actually go find them ourselves.
I think you can find most of them at my estate. I will send word that you're coming. Please know that you will not have much free roam of, you know.
That is perfectly fine.
I believe it may be best, Brianna, if they send their own word of the matter and allow each of our siblings to decide if they do wish to meet with them.
Yes.
If it would be better, our home is open to you anytime you wish. Please come and avail yourselves of our manor. We are lesser to even account, but we do have a decent estate and would be more than happy to have you come and just be yourselves.
I will send word to our other siblings, and we'll let this decision be in all of our own hands.
Of course.
Excluding mine. I feel I have more things, new title and all.
Of course.
By any means, for the evening at the very least, you are welcome as guests of the Pomeranian family.
We do thank you very much.
I think Alexandria kind of shares one more look with Brianna, just a look of she's trying to impress at any point with that sibling like bond of I will make them leave if needed, before giving the same look to Fiona and the other siblings in attendance. She is going to try not necessarily to mimic Rex's body language, but that confident tilt to her shoulders, the confident tilt of her chin, the way that she holds her tail. She is trying to read right now, like, I am the head of this family and I will do what is needed to keep my family safe and comfortable in this situation.
So, just for, because you're trying to put on the airs, give me a perform check.
Oh no. I will use a card if this is bad. I'm going to use a card. If this one's bad, I'm using another. Oh fuck! That wasn't the right roll. I accidentally clicked survive. 21.
Okay. There we go.
That's good. Yeah,
It took a few iterations.
It's you can't pull off menacing like Rex can.
No, well, Rex they can.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it's like Rex is menacing. Alexandria looks more like she means business. She doesn't look scary, but you get by her body language that she is the top dog currently.
Yep. To put it into human to animal terms, you look like you could seriously savage somebody's ankles.
Yes, exactly. Alexandria, reminder, is the smallest Pomeranian. She's literally just fluff. But I do think she kind of waves a hand. I imagine Sebastian's in the room.
Yes.
I think she just, can you go ahead and get tea for everyone? Get it started. And then I will begin.
It has already
Thank
been
you.
prepared. It is. He actually kind of waves to the table. The whole thing has been set up. There are teacups for everyone. There is essentially a 5-gallon tureen of tea already set up.
Is there extra milk and sugar available?
Yes.
Good. And I think Alexandria will give like a respectful, because there is a massive status difference, just an incline of her head to her grandparents, her mother, and then she will step around and she's going straight for Rex, and she just kind of throws her arms around his neck.
He hugs you in a tight bear hug, and you did good, but you need to work on your posturing just a little bit.
Was it too obvious?
No, but it has to be natural. You can't make it happen.
I think she just looks at him and just, Grandfather, I'm never going to be as threatening as you are in the day-to-day.
Eventually, trust me.
I think she just kind of shakes her head and then pulls back slightly and just kind of thrusts her paw into his paw with the ring up.
Yep. He will appraise it and kind of... It's not disapproving, but it's kind of a...
I think Alexandria, you see her head tipping to the side and like her ears doing the little thing where they turn forward and like that confused little dog look. Of just, what?
Oh, just, I realized when I first started having him followed that he was a commoner, but, it's a bit gaudy, don't you think?
I don't believe it's gaudy at all. It's a statement piece.
Fair enough. And it isn't technically an engagement ring, it's more of a promissory.
That it is, and for an engagement ring, it would be a smaller jewel to make it more comfortable for day-to-day wear. But I believe that he was trying to posture.
Yes. I will have to send the tutors after him soon.
Oh, you were not just going to leave that to me?
Like I would leave everything to you. Someone has to walk you down the aisle after all, and he will ruffle your fur, and he starts to walk to the head seat, and then realizes and remembers his position now, and actually takes a seat off on the sideboard.
Oh my god, I think to Alexandria, she like hadn't even questioned him walking past her, but when he stops, turns and goes to the sideboard, her tail wags just a little. And she will kind of move to take her position at the head of the table and then motion for the others to take their seat.
Yep. I file in. Most of the servants will actually be sitting along the sideboard as well with Rex.
I imagine like she has Rosabella specifically closest to her,
Yeah, I was assuming that. Like, I was gonna have Rosabella either stand behind you, or she was going to be not behind, but beside you, or sit beside you. So either way, if that works.
I like to imagine she goes to stand beside Alexandria, and Alexandria just kind of motions for her to take a seat and just, you are family as well. You are not currently on duty.
So, as
Sorry, again, have it.
as the two of you are sitting down, Brianna, go ahead and roll me a notice check just for you because you are in a position because Rex is directly behind Alexandria and Rosabella. You don't really. You notice that Rex
use your card.
Yep.
You're using your card.
Okay, that's only so much better, but all right.
Yeah. So yes. 10 is just barely good enough. Rex is holding what looks to be a notebook, and he is writing something. You're not sure what, because an 11 is not going to give you full information.
Is there a perch right above him?
Not above him. So a sideboard is kind of like a long bench with a small coffee table in front of it.
Is there like is he like by a window by chance?
Yeah.
Okay. So I kind of like move one hand but like below my other paw, and I like gently snap my fingers, and Nightwing is going to appear on the other side of the window and just peers.
Okay, so with that, you won't have to roll another notice check. He is clearly writing a manuscript.
Wait, a manuscript? Our grandfather's writing a novel?
Yes.
Wait, what's it about? Give Nightwing the details. Is it...
So, what Nightwing can read before it is quickly moved out of the way, because Rex did notice you snapping your fingers, is, as her cheeks blushed in the field.
Well, would he know why, though?
No,
wait, who's it about? Is it about Rex and our grandmother? Or is it just a random one?
Well, the reason I asked how would he know is because I don't know how privy he's been to Nightwing since he's been in exile.
I assume decently so, because he's still been in contact with our maids and our servants and our spies. But Alexandria will wait for everyone to take their seats. And then I think she just... So, I believe I should just get into it straightforward. Going forward, I am being courted by Frankie Hound. Well, Franklin Hound, if I am to be proper. And she will kind of launch into it. She'll kind of go over who Frankie is. I imagine all the maids are like, we already know this. Like, they're like, we've already researched this. And she will, in detail, tell about the date. She will leave out the fact that she hadn't figured it out.
Oh, they all know.
I think literally like everyone in the room just shares like a glance, like you had like looked down at that moment, and we're all like, we all fucking knew.
Yep.
And like this thing is, I looked at our mother and our new grandparents were both like, why is everybody looking at each other? What don't we know?
I want to say that could also be one of those things, like when you see something and like things like click and they're like, got it.
How did they get it?
No, it's like when you see people do something, it like clicks. Like, so they're listening to you explain this, right? And then they're it's the fact that it's the fact that everyone made. If it was just like one or two people,
the shared glances around the table.
But it's the fact that everyone did it. Like when people do that, I feel like you kind of just know. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, something's up.
Right? If it was just like, I don't know, like me and Rosabella, right? Okay. All right. No, it was everyone. Me, Rosabella, Rex, the staff, Sebastian, Theo, everyone did it.
Yep. And it's like, gotcha.
They've learned more about you in one moment than they have in your entire life.
Well, they haven't known me my entire life, so that's saying a lot.
I know. That's the point.
But yeah, I think as Alexandria is drawing to a close, she just kind of gives that like awkward little smile, but her tail is going a mile a minute. As she kind of just takes in the table, the varying expressions. Mm-hmm.
Will you be bringing him to the coronation?
I did not have plans of asking, but I would not be opposed to it.
So, just for flavor,
Mm-hmm.
go ahead and give me a strength save.
Me?
Yep.
Oh,
Oh my
no.
god.
That's not
Nice.
bad.
That's not bad. Your tail's gonna be sore in the morning.
I just don't.
Yeah, there is a thing called happy tail syndrome in dogs.
It's like here's the thing. It's like everyone's fur is moving a little bit because her tail's stirring up that much of a breeze.
Yep.
Alexander like not even paying attention to it, just completely focused. But
Isabella's just like letting this breeze drift over her, and she's just kind of like, I didn't need a fan.
But I think Alexander I was not going to ask for it, though I would not be opposed to bringing him. I figured that you were already keeping a close eye on what numbers would be allowed to attend the actual coronation itself.
I am assuming most people at this point in time would not be saying no to some of my wishes.
Sebastian speaks up at this time. The last coronation was open to commoners as well as nobility. However, there are special seats designated for the direct noble lineage.
I think Alexander kind of like nods just a tad bit and looks back towards Bayo. I would leave it to you, though it also would make a statement to have him appear with me at the ball and keep it quiet until then.
I'm not opposed if you bring him. I mean, I'm going to say hello, but it's, you're going to know what's best for you.
Can Alexandria roll a check for herself to see what would be better?
So you can either roll a flat d20 or you can roll a intelligence or wisdom save/check.
Okay. Let me see. And yeah, we're gonna roll a flat d20 because none of those are good. Ooh. So 19.
That's not bad. That is this is arbitrarily for your decision, so.
Mm-hmm. So would it make a good statement to have him appear with her at the ball, or would that cause too much of a buzz, and it would be better to let it simmer in advance?
So you can do something like that. Have his reveal be at the ball. It would be kind of a statement piece, and it would also it might dampen the mood to have him revealed at the ball, because there are going to be people that are going to want to dance with you, especially since you're the one throwing the ball.
So it would be better to leave any reveals until after the ball.
Or have them before, but allow it to be known that this is more of a promissory than an actual engagement. Because if you show up with a man on your arm at the ball, it's going to be like, oh, she's taken.
Oh, because people are going to be gunning for her as the Duchess.
Yes. But if you actually appear with him at the coronation, and then he is with you at the ball, it's going to be like, okay, we have time to figure out their relationship, and we can still approach, but a lot of noble hobnobbing is off the table.
Oh, you mean hobnobbing in the sense of, hey, you want to get married because you both are of similar status? Yeah.
Yep.
I think Alexandria just kind of intertwines her paws and kind of leans her head on them for a minute, and she's quiet. You can tell she's thinking, she's going through it, and I think she has this look on her face where you can tell she's like weighing the options, and I will appear with him at the ball to prevent any issues arise. Not the ball, sorry. Rewind, that's Haley's fuck up. I will appear with him at the coronation to prevent any issues arising during the ball. That reminds me, and she'll kind of like look towards her grandparents and her mother. I will be providing each of you a invite. I would like to have you in attendance.
We would love to attend, but we are a bit beyond our dancing years anymore. However, we will make an appearance and provide proper attendance.
Of course. I would not ask anything else of you. And I think Alexandria is already like, that's good. She was going to provide like these certain invitations that's like, make an appearance and then leave. And she just is kind of nodding before she just, I believe that's all that we need to cover this evening. And she'll kind of like look around the room and just, I have a feeling there's going to be a lot of questions. So let's get that over with.
So, one of the maids starts off like that, and then she gets up. I have to check the roast, and kind of hurries into the kitchen.
Can I roll a sense motive on the maid? $16.
So, her feet didn't make a sound as she entered the kitchen.
Is that out of the ordinary?
Yes, considering it's not usual for someone to move that stealthily as a maid.
Oh, she's off to her spy work.
Or she's distancing herself from asking questions that she already knows the answers to.
I think Alexandria is just like, she just gives it's a very subtle shake of her head, and then she's just gonna kind of look around and then like return her gaze, but flick her gaze between her sister, Fiona, Rosabella, her mother, her two other grandparents, and then also I think she turns slightly to be able to see Rex. And then also kind of looks at Sebastian. It's just like a quick little, these are the people who I feel like are probably going to have the most questions or anything to say.
Rex is still writing in his notebook. He has
I imagine
position, but yeah.
Nightwing is still reading then.
Oh yes, he is. And
I think there's probably a point where, because this is how Nightwing has probably landed on his shoulder and is just whispering in his ears like suggestions.
Yeah, yes, he absolutely is. And you look up and catch Nightwing's eyes, and he's got this look on his face like, "Girl, we got gossip."
I think Brianna has this really quick look on her face, is like, Jesus Christ, and composes it.
Nightwing really is just one of the girls.
He really is.
He's just one of the girls.
But yeah, I think Alexandria is just kind of opening the floor if there are any questions that need to be asked before she can excuse herself.
I think Brianna looks outside, and how long do you think it's been since she's like made her escape?
A few hours, maybe about an hour or so.
Okay. Well, as much as I would like to spend more time here, sister, I have let myself be.
You have duties that need to be attended to at this time.
Yeah,
I understand.
Yeah, and I didn't exactly excuse myself, so I gotta go.
Right. Alexandria will kind of push herself back from the chair, like the seat back, get up, and she will kind of walk forward and kind of pull, kind of awkwardly hold out an arm for Bayo.
I think Bayo just goes in and she'll give you a hug.
And I think when she's close enough, she whispers in her ear and just, I will keep an eye on our grandparents. If I catch anything, I'll let you know immediately. And if they are to try anything, I don't believe they will, but no, it will be handled.
Bayo,
okay.
As you are hugging Alexandria, you get a message.
Oh, shit.
It is 5 words. I am wearing a dress.
Who's it from?
Smuggling.
Is it from Smuggling?
Yep. Smuggling.
Can I respond back?
I think I respond.
Oh, did you go to Bayo? Oh my god.
I mentally respond all the way. Like, I must go now, sister 4-5. And I think I'll stop before grandparents and mother. And I'll pick up, I think, the gift. And I think Brianna feels safe enough. So it's not going to be an easy road. I think I come up and I do I do gently at least shake their hand.
Yep. They will take your hand and shake, and your grandmother will kind of try to do the French kiss on each cheek thing, but
I let it happen.
Yeah.
I would like to get you now, but I think it is more important to me to see how your relationships are with the siblings first.
We
Um,
work on this.
and then I will walk off to Rex last, give him a light hug, and I'll look at Nightwing as like, you be good.
Yes. As you are giving Rex a light hug, he just whispers softly, "I'm sorry, and I'm very proud of you."
I think I just squeeze him a little bit tighter, and I'll whisper in his ear, like, we should talk sometime.
We will.
Okay.
I'll be around.
And I nod, and like on my way out, very again discreet, I summon the horse, and there's like a boom of thunder.
Yup.
From there, if no one has any questions, I think Alexander kind of just takes a moment, kind of takes in the room, I imagine all the maids are like excusing themselves by this point.
Yep.
Sebastian's in his normal position that he never leaves. I think she just kind of looks towards her grandparents for just a second and then kind of looks over towards Rosabella. And I think like there's that they have grown up with each other.
Yeah.
I imagine Rosabella knows Alexandria's face, and I think there's this look of, I trust you to have my back in this. Be on guard. Before it is gone and it's back to that like polite, noble bearing that like she just naturally has. And I think with that, she turns her gaze fully to them and just, I believe it'll be time for you to show yourselves out shortly. I assume you have your own carriage waiting.
Yep, we will be fine, and we do appreciate you seeing us on such short notice. We wished to make our presence known.
Of course. I actually would like to have both of you, and with that, there's a pointed look towards her grandparents instead of her mother, to attend a tea with me in the coming days. I will have to review my own schedule, but I would be honored to have your acquaintance for an afternoon.
We would be delighted. Oh, by the way, I am Beatrice, and this is Reginald.
Alexander will kind of hold out a paw, politely.
They will take it and shake.
Mm-hmm.
And, Beatrice's paw shake is strong and determined. Reginald is, he's got a nice grip, but it's kind of weak.
Can I roll a strength check just to give an impressive handshake?
Yes, you can.
Okay, would that be a saving throw or just a flat strength?
Just a flat check.
Okay.
Don't roll too high. You'll end up breaking his hand.
I'm gonna use my other card. I'm gonna use my other card.
You don't even have to. I will.
Okay, that's a 9 total.
Yeah. He's timid. Doesn't start to cover it for Reginald.
Can I roll one for my grandmother?
Yes.
I'm gonna use my card.
Good Lord.
I'm not strong! That's better. I'll take it.
Yep. Yeah. No. She. There's a. Little,
well, that's an 11 total.
Yeah. There's a little bit of a glint of respect in her eyes. She's like, she'll do.
I will say, as like the introductions are kind of coming through, she'll just. I suppose I should properly introduce myself. I am Duchess Alexandria Pomeranian, head of House Pomeranian. And her tail's wagging again. It's so subtle. This time it's more subtle, but it's going again.
Yep.
That's gonna be happening for a while.
I like to believe that Rosabella is at this point she's been standing behind Alexandria as this whole interaction's going, and her eyes just kind of like flicker down to the tail again, and like she just kind of shakes her head a little bit.
I like to imagine she is behind her trying to be subtle and just kind of grabbing her tail to stop it.
Well, I'm kind of thinking she's behind to be a little like I'm wondering. There's a part of me that's curious if they're intimidated by her.
Can she roll an intimidation check?
Yes, absolutely.
I'm just curious.
Oh.
Oh yeah, no, they couldn't come close to that. They are. Well, Reginald is absolutely terrified of Rosabella.
I don't believe
Beatrice,
she's actually doing anything.
you don't
But she's
have
like,
to.
You're a very big dog and you've been a guard for many years.
Pomeranians coming up to a dog that you probably make 3 of them.
yeah.
Beatrice, she is a bit taken aback just by your presence, like, oh my. But there's no there's no fear, there's no cowing, but there's a little bit of taken abackness.
What is Rosabella's proper title again?
Baroness Rosabella.
So I think Alexandria, she catches that look, and she's trying to be subtle about it, but I think there's this change in her body language of trying to communicate you're doing a good job to Rosabella. It's subtle. I think it's just a rolling of her shoulders. She can't put her other paw into Rosabella's right now to sign or do anything. So I think she just, I suppose I actually have been rude myself. I have not given you a proper introduction. And she'll kind of turn slightly so they can get a better look at Rosabella. This is Baroness Rosabella Pomeranian, my god and dear friend.
Rosabella just kind of nods towards them.
They give respectful nods, and it's lovely to meet you, miss.
Pleasure is mine.
Come along, Jacques. We do have to get going. I think we'll stop by that lovely little cafe we saw on the way here. And you here. And they kind of trundle out a little fast.
Our grandfather's French?
No, Jacques is the
the servant. Okay. Cool. But I think after they're gone, I think Alexandria she holds up a finger towards Rosabella, and her ear perks. She's trying to count their steps until they and her mother are gone.
You absolutely hear as the door opens and is closed by one of the footmen, and you do hear the horse's hooves sedately leaving the estate.
So I think by that point, it's just Sebastian, maybe a maid or 2, Rex, and her in the room, right?
Yes.
So I think she looks towards Rosabella and just, that went better than it could have.
They look scared.
To be fair, you are.
Why?
Rosabella, I do not find you terrifying, nor does anyone else in the house, because I am quite used to you, and honestly, I don't believe you'd ever hurt me, no matter what I did. But to other dogs, when you are taking up a guard position behind me, even if you do not raise your hackles, consider.
Rosabella just kind of sits there for a second and then just kind of and she just turns shakes her head and walks over, and I think she would sit near Rex again and just I didn't even do anything to intimidate them. I was just standing there. I wonder how it'd be if I actually was to try and intimidate them.
You'd probably give the old fogies a heart attack.
I mean,
Nightwing gently pops up, raises a wing. It's fine.
Not everyone is as resilient as the Pomeranian family.
I think Nightwing holds out a wing for a bro fist from Rosabella.
Rosabella does. She bro fists.
Continues reading over Rex's shoulder.
As Rex is writing, he will actually show Rosabella.
Rosabella looks.
It is no secret what he is writing as soon as you see the page. He is writing about Frankie and Alexandria.
I think Alexandria, so you can tip the book, is just going to start walking over.
I think Nightwing puts his wings immediately over the manuscript. No peeking.
Rosabella just kind of covers.
No
She just
peeking.
covers her mouth and just kind of lets off a little giggle.
Grandfather,
It's a present.
what do you mean it's a present?
You'll see soon enough.
No
She's like
peeking.
doing that thing she's done since she was a pup. I think it's like her head tips to the side, her eyes get a little bit bigger. She's gonna try and puppy dog eyes her grandfather into showing her.
You have learned something over the years.
It doesn't work.
It does not work on Rex.
She's still gonna try. It's just like her eyes get a little bit bigger, her ears start doing that really cute thing where they're like tipping a little bit.
Alexandria.
No peeking.
Listen, eventually it will work.
No,
I have been told that I am quite adorable. Thank you very much.
you are very adorable. But it does not work on me.
But you will show me eventually.
Yes, it is for you.
She is like, it's the same look you've seen her since she was a pup of just the, oh, it's for me. Just like the same ears go forward. And I think I suppose I can wait then. But, by any means, what do you think of the whole situation?
About
With-
damn time.
Can say that again.
Elaborate.
Let's just say I've noticed the little hearts popping up in your letters recently.
I have been signing hearts.
Did you not?
No,
Did
I
you
had
know?
I had no idea.
Oh.
Oh God, Sebastian, you've been checking my documents, correct?
He kind of grins and turns around.
So I think you hear Nightwing's voice and it takes on a tone of Brianna's, right? Wow, there's a lot more hearts in this than usual.
Oh God, I'm going to have to redo all the paperwork that's going in the family files. I have spent hours in the last several weeks filling out documents. Sebastian, why did you not let me know?
I thought it was just an affectation of yours, ma'am.
You have seen my writing since I was a pup. I mean, you never handled my lessons directly, but you know that I do not sign anything like that.
Trust me,
Well-
considering they don't go anywhere out of household, I think it's fine.
Right. So everyone was aware except me.
Yes.
Pretty much.
I mean, the same way that we were aware that this was a date before you.
I figured it out.
You did. I'm proud of you.
I'm proud of you.
Nightwing always
Rosabella
feels like
nods
an
at
insult.
Nightwing.
Nightwing, it always feels like an insult when it comes from you.
Nightwing looks. He looks only mildly shocked, and then he shrugs.
I think Alexandria kind of sighs and just reaches out with the most awkward reach ever and just kind of pats him on the head. Just like it's so awkward and stilted.
You hear Brianna's voice, right? And you can just assume that Nightwing probably put it's a start.
I think she just, by any means, it's good. I didn't expect to ever be courted by someone who was not of noble bearing. But he's kind, and I enjoy his company enough.
Nightwing holds his wing out for a brofist.
From Alexandria?
Yeah.
I'm gonna roll a performance to see how awkward this brofist is. Give me a second. If it's high, it's not that awkward. If it's low, it's so awkward. It's so awkward. It's like a medium. Like you can tell she doesn't quite know how to put her paw to do it.
I think as he puts his wing down, he says 4 out of 10.
Again, insulting me.
I mean,
It's a start.
it's a start.
He also did gift the family several horses. Specifically, they will be going to me, but
Not the family.
you can see like her just doing the same little head tilt.
Yes. So, Rex hands you a piece of paper. It's about a foot long.
Alexandria kind of, I think, I want to say her reading speed, even though it always has been pretty decent because she loves to read just individually, it has picked up a lot in the last several weeks. So I think she just is going to quickly skim it.
Yeah, it's a deed.
A deed? To what?
To a paddock. A barn and a small field.
Did he give that to Alexander? Who's it from?
This is from Rex.
I think she kind of looks at it for a moment before looking sharply up to him, and she just, is it addressed to her?
Yeah.
Is this for, you've gotten word of what I'm starting?
I have. And, well, let's just say I had a enlightening little conversation with your friend.
Which friend?
Who do you think?
I'm dumb, Talon, but Alexandria is smart. I'm gonna assume Frankie.
Yep.
I think she just, you've spoken with him.
Well, not as myself, of course.
Who did you possess this time?
Well, who do you think the elocution tutor was?
Oh my god, is Rex tutoring him?
Yes, he is.
I think Alexandria just takes in a breath. Just on one hand, I'm incredibly grateful that you believe that it is a possibility for me to do it, or you would not be handing me a deed to land. On the other, Paul, grandfather, if you are tutoring him yourself, he's going to figure out who you are eventually.
Yes.
Have you considered that at all in your grand scheme of things?
Yes.
You're going to give him a heart attack.
Nope. I'm going to treat him like one of the family from the get-go.
He's not going to learn, grandfather. Not in that regard. He doesn't. The energy he has given me and how he
I
interacts.
think you need to give him a little more credit.
He doesn't have that bite to him that I would expect from someone who can pick locks or lie or steal.
You haven't seen him wrestle sheep.
I think Alexandria just... I have not. To be fair, I don't stick around the barn that he works at much.
Tell you what, go there, let's say a couple days before your ball, around noonish, and just watch. Watch from the shadows. You might be surprised.
I will take your advice then. Just be kind to him. Don't baby him, don't treat him like a pup, but please do not rip him limb from limb. I do enjoy his company.
Yeah. He kind of turns his head away and says, yeah, I'm not messing with farm boy strength.
Grandfather? The things that I have seen you do at your age, and you will not mess with him.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with farm boy strength.
Isabella kind of nods towards it. It's like, understandable.
I think Alexandria is the only one who's confused. I'm just, okay, she's like notating that in the back of her mind about Frankie, and I think she just, right, by any means, grandfather, now that you have returned, I am assuming you will be staying in your room, which I will have prepared for you, and...
Nope.
You will not? Well,
Nope.
Where will you be staying?
Your room is now my room, my old room is now your room, officially. I will be staying in the first attendance room, as is proper.
I think Alexandria just... I'm going to be completely honest with you, that is one thing I have overlooked when it came to taking over the household. I did come back after we had a massive event, and there was quite a bit that needed to be handled, and paperwork, as well as reviewing certain aspects of running the family. I have not even considered moving rooms. Right.
It's already been taken care of.
I think Alexandria just... I slept in my room last night.
Yes.
Did you
You
have
had
me move
4
it this
hours.
morning? I did have 4 hours. I'll get used to it. By any means, I thank you, grandfather. I have one request of you.
Mhm.
I want to wear some of grandmother's jewelry to the ball. I know that this is off topic, and I am thrusting this upon you.
Everything in this household is yours.
But that is a piece of her that is yours.
He shakes his head. Everything in this household is yours.
I think Alexandria kind of gets this look on her face before it's kind of masked by that determination, and she just kind of nods and she just, thank you. I thought that it might be a lovely tribute to a member of our family who is no longer with us. It will be proper for someone to accompany me. I thought about having it be Frankie, but I'm worried about the stir it may cause when there are other endeavors during that ball that we need to handle.
I think for your debut ball, it would be fine for you to go unaccompanied, but surrounded by your retinue.
Right. Do you think it will make less of a statement, however, if I am to be accompanied by my retinue versus someone?
Yes.
I thought, considering the fact that we did not go through the proper proceedings for you to hand the family to me. I have kept most of what was written in those letters and the confession from the king from the public eye. As such, to anyone else, it looks like the Pomeranian family has currently gone through massive changes, and I thought it may be best to have you accompany me as a way of a send-off and sign that I have taken over the family, so that I am not to lose respect among our peers.
That can be taken care of.
I would appreciate your advice on the endeavor. I know that handling the delicacies of society have never been truly your strong suit, but you played that game far longer than I have from this position.
You might want to talk to Sebastian about what he has planned for the ball before you make any major decisions.
I think Alexander kind of looks over where Sebastian is turned.
He has his typical clipboard in his hand, writing things down, and how do you feel about a masquerade?
A masquerade? What has you going down that route?
Well, let's just say that I have been talking to some old friends, and they have given me some ideas.
I think she kind of raises a brow and just kind of motions for him to continue.
Well, since it is a debut ball, and it is the announcement of the Duchess, and you're going to be wearing a classical yet modern design dress, it would only be appropriate for a masquerade style evening.
I would not be against it. There are certain benefits that also come with a masquerade. It makes it a bit easier.
Would also solve some of your accompaniment conundrum.
Tell me what you're thinking, Sebastian.
So I'm going to break this down when we actually go into the ball scene, but essentially he's got a grand entrance planned. He has been working the magic.
I like to imagine Sebastian's just, I will explain more later, just trust me.
Yep, pretty much.
I think Alexander just kind of nods and just, right, I will leave it to you then, who exactly will be accompanying me, whether that is grandfather or Frankie. Rosabella, I have not made an official statement about it, but I would like to invite Luke to accompany you.
Luke? She kind of stares down for a second, and you can see the gears turning her head of, why didn't I think about that? Oh my gosh, I should have invited him. I can't invite him.
I think Rosabella
out loud.
Yeah, Alexandria knows her well. I like to imagine Alexandria knows her well enough though to see that panic and that her mind racing, and she just, Sebastian.
The invitation has already been sent.
Thank you. Have you sent one to Frankie?
I have.
Right. That means, grandfather, you are going to have to be on top of his education.
I'm taking care of it. Don't worry.
Right. Well, Rosabella, are you okay with what I have planned in that regards?
Yeah. Yeah, it's fine.
Right. I think Fiona's just been in the chair and she just Fiona,
Oh, yes.
do you have anyone in mind to accompany you?
Kinda?
I think immediately her ears go forward.
Rosabella's kind of looking at her too, like, oh?
So, as you know, I've been working out of my own firm here recently, and
Of course.
there's a new hire, and we've been talking and getting along.
Alexandria's tail is going again. I think now she's like, oh, my tail's getting sore for some reason. It's going again. And she just, I know that this is my evening. As she's like walking over, she places the paw down. This is like the most excited Fiona's ever seen her. And she just, you are going to tell me everything.
So
Not as the head of the family, not as the Duchess. As your sister, you're going to tell me everything.
there is a pause as her ears kind of droop and her tail drops, and her name is Samantha.
I think Alexandria doesn't even, for her, that's not even a consideration. She just, Samantha then. Last name, family line.
She's, well, considering that I am no longer in the rat race, as it were, I am common, and she doesn't have a surname. I believe she might be a mutt.
I think like Alexandria just is nodding. I think she reaches out and places a paw on Fiona's shoulder and just, I am incredibly happy for you. I would like, if possible, to meet her. It would be a perfect time for you to bring her to the ball. And if anyone is to say anything, then I will handle it.
Rosabella just kind of smiles and just, oh, you won't have to worry about anybody.
Rosabella will make all the statements we need to make, and it will not be anything on my paws.
Thank you. I was a little bit reticent to bring it up.
Well, as Bayo has said, we have our issues. I still have my feelings towards you, as we have discussed.
We're working on that.
We are working on it, and even though you are no longer of status, we are family. You are still a Pomeranian.
She doesn't know I'm from a noble household.
Would you prefer to keep it secret then, rather than bring her to the ball?
No, I think I would like her to know everything, but I'm not sure how she would react. This is new territory for me.
Right, well, it's also new territory for me, so we will figure it out together. Have you had the maids run a background check on her yet?
Like I would have to ask them.
Oh, not in the slightest, but still, it's good to pretend that you think that they haven't already done it. And she like raises her voice, and I imagine like 3 of the maids like pop back into the kitchen.
Yep.
Does Fiona still stay at her own place, or does she stay on Rayana's estate?
She has her own place that she stays in most of the time.
Okay.
By any means, this evening needs to come to a close as I am exhausted, and I have been up 20 hours or so at this point. But
bed and rest, relax, take care of yourself.
I will. But by any means, Sebastian,
Yes, Mom.
at Fiona's discretion, please also go ahead and notate Samantha down as a possible attendant.
I will send an open invitation to her.
Thank you. Wait until Fiona gives you the word, however.
He nods and kind of retreats back into his corner.
Outside of that, I think she just, and added to the schedule, Fiona, I had already had plans of it. After the coronation, I will be calling each of the family home for a tea in the afternoon, one by one. So please prepare to clear your schedule on insert date here.
Yep. And, once you clear everything and head off to your room, we are going to roll the 2 days till the coronation.
Woo!
So, let me pull everyone back over, because yay.
Woo!
and this might be a little wonky.
Mm-hmm.
This is on the Roll20 only because it's kind of a pain in the butt to find all the songs, and I didn't want to play an entire playlist for just one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so fancy.
So, as the morning of the coronation rises, the golden hour arrives, which is, for those that don't know, like 6:30 in the morning, just as the sun is coming up for peak lighting. The red carpet is laid out, and the first noble attendants are expected to arrive first, as the coronation will not be happening until around noon, but the nobles, then the lesser nobles, and the peasantry will fill the area of the throne room. It has been magically extended to fit everybody.
Ooh.
Listen, Rihanna looks really good on that throne, y'all.
Yes,
She does look really good. She's so cute. She's got the perfect coronation dress too. Like her colors actually, I think on the coronation dress was like red and everything, right? So it kind of matches.
Fuck if I remember. I just know that I look really good on this throne right now.
Yeah, trying to get the aspect ratio proper is kind of a pain in the butt with some maps.
Mm-hmm.
Especially when they already have grid lines on them.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, as the last few people are trickling in, the music is cut off, and there is first the pardon me, I had a momentary brain fart. There is the recitation of the Creed of Man and the Oath of Office for Brianna to recite. I'm not going to make you do that through rote memory. This is technically a long process that normally takes several hours, but I do know you are on a time crunch tonight, so I will truncate a lot of this.
Okay.
It is a beautiful ceremony. The crown, robe, and scepter are lovely and mostly plastic. In our terms, they look like they came from Spirit Halloween, but in in Pugmire terms, this is like bringing out a platinum tiara with the best cut gems.
It looks so fucking good, y'all.
And there are light snacks, mostly just hors d'oeuvres served, and everyone is expected to take a flute of champagne, even the peasantry, as the coronation is lovingly underway, and the oaths are recited, the prayers are cast, a lovely gaggle of doves is released into the halls of the castle.
I think because Lord Mao is here and he was formally invited, I imagine he'd be somewhere very close to me due to status.
Yep, he is in the noble section, which is the red carpets to the left and the right, in between the horse statues.
Okay.
So, this is basically, I just jumped over about 4 hours of pageantry to where we now get to King Brianna's speech.
I get to make it from this on.
Yep. This is your first official declaration as king.
Okay. And everyone's kind of like lined up, starting from the bottom of the stairs in front of me down, like all the way.
Yeah. So it goes. No one is allowed to this point on the dais.
Okay.
Everyone, higher nobility and lesser nobility, are allowed on the primary dais. this one here, and then peasantry are down the stairs.
So I think what Brianna would do is she would get off her throne, and I feel like she would know that she probably shouldn't just go past this point, right? But she would kind of come down to like the edge of the steps, and she kind of places like, her hand over her heart, and she'll call out, like, people of Pugmire, today's the day of my coronation, and for a long time, some longer than others, I have viewed many of you as my family. Moving forward today, you are all my family. My goal as your king will be to not better just the lives that I care about, but to improve the lives of us all. And she'll actually bow a little bit to her people.
As you finish your speech, one of the attendants will approach carrying a gilt and plastic sword, and they will prefer it to you pommel side first, and kind of whisper into your ear as they're kneeling down. It is typical as your first position of office to knight someone.
Fuck.
Rosabella.
Isn't she already knighted though?
Okay, there's you can knight Alexandria. There's all your people. There's the cat. There's the dog. Rosemary. Yeah.
No, I got it. So I take it, right, and I'm gonna give you a really who was probably the one who helped me the most with Cat Town.
Probably Fiona, honestly.
No, like who is a citizen of Cat Town who helped the most?
That would probably be Chef, honestly.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So I'll call Chef up.
He will approach. Yeah, this is an equivalent. He is a 6'4" Maine Coon.
Mm-hmm. He's a big boy.
He's a big boy. I look up at Chef and I smile at him. Chef, you were one of the first people who believed in my dreams of what Cat Town could be, and since the day you offered yourself to my service, I know you've done everything to help me and to help those people, and I know you'd do the right thing. It would be my honor to knight you.
He will kneel, and you can actually see there are tears in his eyes.
And I'll knight him.
He looks up at you, and just almost above a whisper, he says, "I would die for you, boss."
And I extend my hand out to him.
He takes it, and kind of more for show because he realizes there's no way you can help him up.
I think it's more like I'm looking for him to like grasp my forearm, and I'm going to grasp.
He takes your hand as proper.
And, yeah.
But he's like, this is more for show.
Yeah. I think we share like a conspiratorial like smile, right? Like we know. I know you'll do me proud, Chef. Sir, Chef.
He nods and stands up, and I will do as you command, my lady. And he will, take off to the side where the knights are. Basically,
would it be wrong if I also asked to knight Mason? Mason?
Nope, you absolutely can do that.
Okay. I think I'd call him up too.
And he would come, and he's a little more awkward than Chef. He's not really the whole mob mentality. He's also not as big as Chef. So it's like, you called a giant, now you're calling a normal sized person.
So I think I look at Mason, along with Chef, you two have had unwavering belief in me, and I don't think I'd be where I am now without either of your support. And it would be my honor to knight you.
I would be honored, and he'll take a knee.
I'll knight him.
Yep.
And then just as I did with Chef, I'll extend out my hand.
He will take it, and he kind of turns your paw over and kisses the back of your paw.
Mm-hmm.
More of a sign of fealty, and then he will stand and join the rest of the knights.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. What do they want next from Brianne?
As the attendant comes back up, they'll take the sword and just kind of whisper, "That was good. I think you're free now." Just normally you wave your hands, or wave your paw, and everybody filters out, and you can say some words if you want, but you're doing good. And yet they'll kind of walk off stage right.
They look up. My people. In the next few days, I will be calling on both our nobility and our, what I call them, civilians.
Citizenry.
Yeah, thank you. Citizens. I'm hoping to put together a council so that we can all decide what is best for us rather than I decide for all of you. And I will be coming and making some visits in the next few days. Thank you all for attending.
And with that, King Brianna has introduced parliamentary monarchy into Pugmire.
I love everything. I love this. I gotta admit, there's a bit that wants me to have Rosabella just kind of, do the, like, you know how, like, usually during, like, the end of the sermons and everything, everybody ends up getting, like, on a knee to bow?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like Rosabella would do that at the end.
Absolutely appropriate. You do that, and there's a wave of people kneeling or bowing in fealty, and they will stream out. The common citizens first, and then followed by the nobility. A lot of the nobility will actually come up as close as they can on the dais and congratulate Bayo, and a fair good number of them are clearly there to brown nose.
Can Alexandria try and make eye contact with her sister and just try and give her that look of "you are doing a good job. I am proud of you."
As the Duchess, you are allowed to get the closest to the dais. Technically, because you are direct blood relation, you can come up 3 steps onto the dais.
So I think Alexandria does that. She makes a point. I think as she's walking up, she's like mentally going through, she's making sure her body language is perfect. She's making sure that she is a perfect example. And I think when she gets up top, that is when she takes her kneel and lowers her head for a moment before kind of looking up, and she just makes eye contact with Bayo. And it is that look of, "I'm proud of you. You're doing a good job."
I think when you look up at Bayo, you can kind of see, like, she mouths, like, "I love you."
I think Alexandria mouths it back, "I love you."
And then she'll step down a little bit and offer her hand out to you.
Alexandria will take it.
And she'll gently help lift you off your knees.
Which, by the way, this is making a big statement.
Yes, it is.
But I think Alexandria kind of squeezes her paw, and
I'm gonna not to startle anybody. I want to roll a notice check just for Rosabella to either be checking the perimeter. If it's a good thing to, like, it's a good roll, be checking around. If it's a bad roll, she's just emotional.
She's just emotional.
It's just emotional.
I assume it's proper after Bayo grabs her paw for Alexandria to kind of, she tightens her grip for a second, gives her that little subtle nod of, "I've got you, I believe in you," and then she will let her go.
Yeah. During the things are a lot stricter during the coronation. Once she's actually in office and sitting royalty, the rules will be a lot more lax with you because you are her sister.
Can Alexandria kind of, I imagine she's supposed to turn and leave the dais at that point. Can she just, as she's turning, give like a general look to see like what that statement implied, make sure no one's judging Bayo for it, make sure that doesn't make Bayo look weak?
Go ahead and roll a notice check.
I have no more cards. If anyone would like to give me a card, I have no more. Could I roll a no history with that?
Yes. Yeah.
Or a no culture, maybe?
No culture would be good.
I'm a history girl. I know history, not culture. I'm average intelligence.
Yeah. It doesn't seem to be bad.
Okay,
Anyway,
Pam's got this.
Yeah.
Between the two of us.
Yeah, no, it's fine. There are a couple of the more problematic nobles that do have a sour look on their face, but it could be attributed to why isn't that me up there?
I think what Brianna will do, right, is she will catch her sister by the elbow and have her follow her down the dais.
Okay, so I think she reaches out, she catches Alexandria's elbow, and just naturally Alexandria links her arm with hers.
And I think what I'll do next, right, is I will start introducing most of the noble families, I think, know me, but I think Brianna is going to take a step, she's going to, just because I imagine she should have some kind of escort at all times, right? Is she will go down to each noble family and she's going to clasp hands and thank each family individually for coming.
Yep. A lot of the a lot of the common folk have already left by this time.
Yeah.
Yep. Rosabella, as you are a baroness, you are also allowed on the dais. Although they did kind of shove you off closer to the statues.
Hold on. So who kind of shoved her off a little more? Was it like were those just the attendants? Okay, I was about to say if it's nobles, I'm rolling for intimidation.
No,
I swear to God.
They were arranging the nobles by their status, and you are a baron, which is a granted title, not a born title. So you're kind of in the back with the lords.
I gotta admit, instantly, as soon as you said something about how some nobles were kind of giving a sour look, I'm over here like, oh, and Rosabella won't let any of this shit happen. Oh, no. I
like to imagine Rosabella's just in the distance looking intimidating.
Yup.
Rosabella always looks intimidating. It's her. She has a resting bitch face.
Yeah. So, Echo, you are also in attendance as a noble, but you are with your parents. It is kind of proper to be so. You are somewhere firmly in the middle.
Would Lily be there?
Technically, she does not have a title.
Oh, okay. Oh, because she's just a subhead of the family. Is Frankie there? I imagine he wouldn't have been allowed anywhere near it because he doesn't have a title either.
He was in the common section. So he will not inherit a title until he weds you.
But I
curiously, just to feed this curiosity, is Luke there?
Luke is there with his father.
Would Rosabella know about this part of him yet?
I'm not sure. So
we could leave it up to fate.
Yeah, we could leave it up to fate.
Roll a d20.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. Wait, I did not mean to do that.
That's a d12 anyway.
Well, Rosabella did not know.
No, you did not. So, yeah, he is, well, I hate using this term, but it is the proper term. He is the bastard child of a noble lord. Technically, he is the illegitimate child of a count. He is still claimed by his father, but because he is illegitimate, he does not have the right to inherit anything.
Okay, I'm gonna roll a notice to see if Rosabella actually notices if he's there.
Oh yeah, you notice.
Oh shit.
So he is standing next to a man that looks almost identical to him, except for where they normally Luke normally has his shaggy hairstyle covering his eyes and paint splattered. He has been bathed, combed, brushed, and his hair is now in regrettably a style that can only be called a man bun because he's a Saint Bernard and there's only so much you can do with that much hair.
There's only so much to do with that much hair. Does he notice Rosabella?
Yes, his eyes have almost not left you the entire time.
I think Rosabella's eyes widen a little bit, and then she kind of like cocks her head a little bit to the side, almost as a questioning of, huh?
He gives a proper noble bow, like right leg extended, bending at the waist, right arm flared out to you, and then he kind of straightens up and just cocks his thumb at his dad.
They're higher status, aren't they? Or he is?
Somewhat, yeah.
Or are they about? Okay.
So the dad is a count.
Yeah. Rosabella's just, her eyes are still wide as she just kind of looks up to his dad.
Yep. Once Bayo has left the dais, you are free to mingle as you see fit.
Oh. I'm not gonna lie, guys. Rosabella might be a little bit intimidated right now.
It'll be okay. Don't worry about it.
It'll be okay. Alexandria would come to you, but she is currently walking around with her sister. She has been grabbed.
As well as looking around to find where they are.
They are prominent. Yeah. You can see the knot of people that surrounds them everywhere. It's like it'll break open long enough for them to go to the next batch, and then it closes up again.
Yeah. Which also, again, it's a very big statement that Alexandria's being brought around with her sister. That is a big statement for the Pomeranian family. But I think Alexandria's keeping like every time you see him, Alexandria's got a good hold on Bayo. I like to think it opens again and she's able to make eye contact with you just quickly. I don't know if there's enough time for them to have like an answer back and forth, but I think it's just that look, that quick look of, are you okay? Because she can just see that look on Rosabella's face.
The thing is, she can see her as soon as their eyes lock, as her ears kind of go down a little bit, because again, she feels nervous because this is not something she expected at all. She kind of is like thrown for a loop right now.
Did Alexandria even? I bet Alexandria hasn't even seen Luke. Like she's been so.
This would be the first time you've seen Luke.
Yeah, so she has no idea. I think because I imagine the girls have their arms linked. I think like maybe their paws are touching slightly. So Alexandria's going to try and be subtle about it. I will roll a stealth of just writing into Bayo's palm.
I think it's like a mix as we're walking around as you're kind of escorting me but as I get closer to it's like I'll unlink my arms and then both of my hands are going to clasp the hands of the family of whatever noble. So there are times that you're not linked with me.
Okay. I don't know if Alexandria would be able to without breaking any kind of code of just trying to send a signal to her sister.
Probably not the best time to do it now unless it's an emergency.
I think Rosabella will look at Alexandria and just kind of like, if they lock gazes again, she's just going to simply like shake her head of, you're busy, keep doing what you're doing. We'll talk about it later. Type look, she just. Who knows how this is gonna end?
Yeah, it's like that quick look of, okay, she could see that look in Alexandria's eyes of, do you need me? And then it's her being like, no, I'm okay. I'll explain later. So I think Alexandria is just gonna immediately just put on back on her airs, continue to be at Bayo's side, escorting her properly, and then also, when needed, making comments as the head of the family.
Rosabella, as they start making their next pass, a knight in black armor kind of nudges you in the back. He's trying to be subtle about it, but he's kind of pushing you towards Luke.
He's a grandfather.
It is.
He's a grandfather.
Isabella's just gonna kind of like get her gaze down a little bit. She's not moving it like she just kind of actually she's just gonna turn and just I'm going to do it.
Hurry up.
Was it great?
She just kind of like takes a deep breath in, lets it out, and just heads over there. Oh God. I assume that, of course, as soon as she gets near him, she would give her a hello and just kind of do like a bow. Isabella is not trained in this.
Yeah, like no curtsy, you bow, and Luke will, as you're coming up, Luke will take your paw and kiss the back of it. And Rosabella, I had heard that you were part of the nobility, but this is my father, Lord Corwin.
She just turns towards him and just kind of gives a. She's putting on a brave face right now. I need y'all to know that. Just outside of game, I need y'all to know that Rosabella's doing her best.
We love a brave girl.
You are eye to eye with Lord Corwin, and the first thing you notice is he has this stoic look on his face until he hears Rosabella, and then it's just tongue lolling out, wide doggy smile. And without breaking proper protocols, he reaches out and pulls you into a hug.
Rosabella, I imagine, lets off a soft, very soft, like tiny yip.
So it's like being bear hugged by a cashmere sweater.
Rosabella, I imagine it's kind of one of those things where her hands are like out like for a moment, but like politely, as well as just she just feels she needs to. She does kind of wrap her arms around him as well, and just it's nice to meet you, sir.
It's lovely to meet you. I mean, it's not every day I get to see the star of my son's latest, well, I guess, art gallery at this point.
Rosabella's ears twitch a little bit, like a perk in interest, and she kind of like turns her gaze towards Luke and just raises an eyebrow.
Yeah, if dogs could blush.
She just kind of shakes her head and kind of steps back a bit and just, well, I'm glad I could be of inspiration.
I think you've been more than that, and I am, well, let's just say I'm more than pleased to know that my son has found someone as noble and virtuous as you. He's told me a few of the things that he's heard about you, and I've done some looking into your family. They are quite prominent.
Prominent, you say?
Not that I don't trust him, but I feel it's a needed thing to happen.
Amazing. Oh, that's really good. That's really good.
It's really good.
He has been looking into. He does know that your last name is Pomeranian. He has been looking into the Pomeranian family. He's not trying to get. Let's just say he has the merchant air about him. He is a merchant count, so he's probably sensing a deal, but it doesn't feel nefarious. More like, hey, my son's into you, you're clearly into him. Maybe we can actually make a deal and get our families closer together. I am all for this.
It's marrying up.
Well, it's nothing. It's nothing. It's not like a bad feeling. Like it's definitely just a. He's
it's
happy
more
for his son.
a proud father that is happy for his son and genuinely ecstatic to meet the person that has caught his son's eye, as well as there might be some deals to be made in the future.
Mm-hmm. So, okay.
I think Brianna would have gone through the majority, and she's probably trying to make sure she met with each family at least once. By the time she hits the last one, I think she would, squeeze her sister's hand, and then be escorted out by Lord Mao.
I like to imagine that it's like the very proper trading of who has a hold of you.
Mm-hmm.
Even though it's not practice, I imagine because both of them are nobility, it's that very graceful transition where you are handed over.
It's a very smooth handoff, yes.
Yeah. I think as she's letting go of you, she gives you one last squeeze of your arm and then kind of passing it off more as like, the handover. She'll just, I'll see you after. You did amazing.
You get a nod, and I imagine I take the crook of Lord Mao's elbow. And then he and I will probably both walk out, since we are the highest of the nobility here.
Yep.
Yeah.
And this is directly after an official, not just peace treaty, but or not just non-aggression treaty, but an actual peace treaty has been signed between the monarchies of Mao and Pugmire.
Yay!
Gearing up. But I think with that, Alexandria is going to turn. Can she just give another quick notice check just to check the energy of the room quickly? Yes. Would that be sense motive or would that be notice?
Both are applicable. It's depending. Are you wanting to do a quick read? That would be notice. If you're wanting to dig a little deeper, that would be sense motive. Let's do sense motive and see what I get from it. Nothing. I get nothing. Yeah. No. It's there's too many people to read at once. It's all over the place. There are some sour people. There are some happy people. There's some people that are just like Lord Corwin. They don't care. They have found a new attraction, and they're just off in their own world.
Okay.
So Lord Mao and I walk out. Is there anything of notice that I see?
More hear than see. There are a few people that are the acoustics are excellent in here, and there are a few people that are muttering about how you are so friendly with Lord Mao, even though there's just been a peace treaty signed.
Well, yeah, I signed it.
Yeah.
I signed it. But he's also now technically, he's going to be my uncle.
Yeah. Well,
people are going to talk their talk.
They're going to talk the talk and not walk the walk. But I think Alexandria is politely as she can. I imagine she probably gets stopped a few times. She's going to try and make her way to Rosabella.
Yeah, it doesn't take you too long. Being a count, he's kind of just under the mid-level because a Viscount's right above him, and they are mid-line in the nobility. So it's like they're not hard to get to.
Alexandria is just, I imagine as she's getting closer, she's gonna do the thing where she straightens her shoulders. She's gonna puff out her chest just a little bit, and she's going to measure.
This is her first time meeting Luke.
Yep.
I imagine she's coming from. Would she be coming from behind them or from behind Rosabella?
I think you'd be coming from behind Rosabella at this point.
For the first time, she's behind Rosabella, looking intimidating. He kind of will reach out and place like a paw on Rosabella's arm as she gets closer to show that she's there, and just, I apologize for interrupting.
You hear a truncated squeal from Lord Corwin.
I'd like to think that both Rosabella and Alexandria both just turned to look at him, like eyes wide a little bit.
I imagine, here's the thing, Alexandria, I think for a second it gets her, and then she's immediately that perfect noble mask is back on, and just, what would be the proper, would for her holding out her hand be too much of a statement, or would it be the proper way for her to go about a greeting of this nature?
So, for one, it's the Duchess coming directly up to a count. You are 4 levels above him. At the same time, because technically Rosabella is like a layer below him, just one, but still. But yeah, this is the Duchess coming to him. It's a little bit of shell shock from seeing a higher noble actually come directly to him. A little bit of, oh my god, she's so cute and tiny. Because
just him. She was going for Rosabella.
Yep, Saint Bernards are like that though. They love cute tiny things.
They do. They love little things, and she is very tiny because she is sadly the runt of her litter.
Yep.
But I think Alexandria. So would it be proper of her to hold out a hand, or would it be more that is
technically proper is what you deem proper.
So what she's going to do is that like polite move of moving her hand out and holding her paw out with like the back of her hand up.
He will take your paw and kiss the back of it, and your grace. It's so lovely for you to grace me with your presence. This is I was not expecting someone of your stature to he just kind of stutters off a bit.
You're fine. The pleasure is mine. I was coming to check on my guard.
Oh, yes, the Lady Rosabella. I was, I was getting to know her. I'm Count Lord Corwin, and this is my son, Luke.
The name Luke, I think it's her face doesn't change, but her ears just go all the way forward.
Okay. Rosabella, I imagine has her hand a little bit like behind Alexandria and just kind of grips her of just that. Don't say anything yet.
I like to imagine like it's like she's pinching Alexandria.
Yeah, basically.
I think Alexandria, she's still got like her
smile on. Like she has this cold face of just a soft smile.
Yeah, and like it's like silent communication. She has her paw still in Lord Corwin's, and I think the pleasure is all mine. I don't believe that I need to give an introduction, though I will do it to be proper. I am Duchess Alexandria, a Pomeranian of head of House Pomeranian. It's nice to meet you, and she'll turn her gaze to Luke. You are Luke.
Yes, I am. It's a pleasure to meet you, my lady. I am.
She'll do the same motion and hold out her paw. But to him, she doesn't offer it to kiss. She holds it out normally.
He will take it and shake it, and it's like. So it's like two baseball catcher's mitts engulfing your hand, but it's one hand.
Yeah. I think Alexandria doesn't say anything, but she's just, I have heard lots about you. And she imagine like
the just instantly is just, is it time to leave?
Not yet, actually. I had a few other families that I needed to meet with, and I was hoping you would accompany me through it. But Luke, I hope that your invitation has arrived.
Yes, ma'am. We received it this morning, in fact.
Good.
I think at that, Rosabella does look towards Luke and just kind of smiles.
Lord Corwin.
He inclines his head. We will be happy to attend. And
of course.
I have heard that there are going to be some interesting surprises. Your butler is actually friends with our butler.
Is he?
Oh.
Well, that is quite interesting, and I would love to hear more about it when we have time. On this day, though, it is one of celebration, and our family needs to meet with many.
Of course.
However, Lord Corwin, I am absolutely delighted, perhaps for our families to have more interactions in the future.
Oh, I intend to, even if I have to shove the boy out the door myself.
I think Alexandria gets a smile on her face. It's small, and her tail does just a little twitch, and like it hurts so bad. And I think she just, right. Well, trust me, I will shove her out the door myself, and we will work together then.
Of course.
For now, she'll let go of Luke and kind of
roll her eyes a little bit and just looks at Alexandria and just shakes her head. I'd like to see you try.
I think Alexandria just looks up at her and just gives her a look back of just, I've been training. And she will kind of politely like wrap her arm with Rosabella, so it's like Rosabella is guiding her. and just
I like to think that at that moment, Nightwing appears on Luke's shoulder.
Yeah, he immediately starts nuzzling Nightwing.
He just gets his bro fist, you know? Bro fist.
God.
Yep.
But I think Alexandria just, by any means, we need to take our leave. Rosabella, unless she would like to stay and get to know them a bit more.
Rosabella sits there for, like, actually genuinely stands there for a moment of, like, blinking and trying to think if, like, which part would be best for her, because she does want to spend more time with Luke, but also duty calls. And she just kind of, like, after a moment, she kind of rolls her shoulders a bit and looks towards Lord Corwin and just actually curtsies this time and just, it was a pleasure meeting you.
And it was divine to meet you.
And then she kind of turned, like, a light turn of her head towards Luke and just smiles and just, I can't wait to see you.
He winks at you and nods his head.
She just, dogs get blessed, man.
Yep.
She just shakes her head at him and just, she turns to Nightwing and just, keep him in line, huh? And then she just walks away.
I like to her arms intertwined, and as they're walking away, Alexandria just pulls slightly on her sleeve and just tries to lean up a bit without causing too much of a stir, drawing too much attention. Just, by the way, you selected well. He's cute.
Oh, do remind me to speak to grandfather, okay?
About what?
I have a feeling he's talked to him.
Both of you roll
definitely.
me a notice check as you're walking away.
Oh, hell no. Hold on.
No.
I have cards still.
Yeah, use your card. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
you
yeah,
see
with
everything.
Rosabella, the blush intensifies as you hear Lord Corwin kind of lean down and whisper, "So, when are you going to propose?" That is the last thing you hear as you leave earshot.
I wish Alexandria had heard that. I so wish. Does Rosabelle have any look on her face?
Rosabella's eyes widen a little bit, and she just lets off like, it's very soft. Only Alexandria, unless one of them rolls, only Alexandria hears this soft. Like, it's a very soft, just startled yip.
What is it? Rosabella?
Ag.
Rosabella, are you alright? Rosabella, are you alright?
I need a drink.
Right, well, let's stop off. I believe they might still have some champagne flutes, so they won't be serving anything of sustenance yet, but...
No, I can wait till we get home. I can wait till we get home. I'll tell you when we get home.
Are you feeling...
I will tell you when we get home.
You promise?
You'll grill me anyways.
I will. And from there, I imagine it's just a lot of them going and talking to different nobility.
The hobnobbing and the festivities, and it lasts for another hour or two, and then everyone is released and officially allowed to go home.
Is Frankie waiting? I imagine Frankie did not wait up around after he was dismissed.
He actually did. He is outside on the front steps waiting.
Oh. I think that's where Alexandria kind of lets go of Rosabella and just kind of waves her on.
Rosabella just smiles and says, "Go get him."
Oh, I plan on it. With that, she will kind of trot over to Frankie. And I think she knows what a statement it's going to make, but she does kind of hold out her paw to him.
He will take it, and may I escort you home, my lady?
Absolutely, I would be honored to have your presence this evening.
Yeah, he will walk you home. And
Oh.
Echo, as you are leaving the place, a a cute little what was it? I had this planned, but I don't know
Mhm.
if it would click. I've forgotten the breed name.
Saluki?
It's kind of like Shiba Inu, but it's the sleeker version of them.
Hmm. Let me look up dog breeds.
Yeah. The name is. It kind of looks like.
Is it the Mino or the Sanin or the Sinshu?
It might be the Sanin. Sanin or Sinshu. Let me look them up real quick because I had this planned out, but because Echo needs a girlfriend.
We're all gonna get married, guys. Um.
Yeah, that might actually be it. Yeah,
Because there's also just the
yeah, they kind of look like a big version of the Corgi. Yeah. But yeah, a cute little Senno, a noble girl has been basically trying to talk your ear off the entire time. But yeah, you make it home in relatively good time. Frankie is kind of quiet the entire way, and then as he's reaching the gate, he just says, "So, the guy that's been coming by to teach me,
What about him?
he asked me to call him grandfather."
Can Alexandria just rolling a little check to see if Rex would want her to say anything, or if he would be like, "Nah, Frankie's gotta put this together." Like, can I?
This is more of a do what you feel is right situation.
I think Alexandria's kind of nodding, and I think she's just. That's interesting. Do you know why?
Well, considering that, let's just say that my lessons were happening during breeding separation, and one of the sheep got out. Well, actually, a couple of the sheep got out, and we had to wrestle him. And he looked at me with this look of respect and said, "Go ahead and call me grandfather, son."
Right. Well, have you noticed what breed of dog he is?
He's a black Pomeranian.
Right, and Franklin, what breed of dog am I?
It's your grandfather, isn't it?
It's my grandfather. He would want you to piece that together yourself.
I did, but I also have been trained not to question the whims of nobles.
Have you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite related to Lord Hound, but I think we probably, ex-Lord Hound, but I think we might share maybe a distant cousin.
Fair enough. Well, I will tell you that grandfather going out of his way to do that is a sign that he cares about you. He told me that he was going to go through and treat you like one of the family, and my grandfather has a interesting way of throwing someone in and seeing if they sink or swim.
Huh? Let's just say he definitely has a job in the sheep shearing business if he ever wants one.
Is he as terrifying with a shear as he is with a sword? Well, an axe usually is what he uses, but you know what I mean.
Terrifying? No, more fast and efficient.
That describes my grandfather. He will eventually challenge you, though he did say something about not messing around with farm boy strength, though I'm not quite sure what he meant by that.
Frankie actually laughs at that. Just no comment, just a laugh.
Alex, I think Alexandria just does a real cute thing where she tips her head to the side and one of her ears goes back, and it's just like confused little look.
So the difference between farm raised and military strength is that we don't pack on the weight before we pack on the muscle.
Right.
We
So,
normally I'm up at about 4 o'clock in the morning, taking care of the cows, feeding the horses, wrangling the sheep. I have had to, uh, well, I've had to wrestle the rams more often than I'd like, and I am not bad at flipping steer.
I think Alexandria's just like, he sees that at the steer comment, she's just like, he can see it in her eyes, and just, what do you mean flipping steer? It's just like that, another little twitch of her ears.
Okay, so, a steer is
Right.
not
A
quite
cow.
bull, but they're young bulls. And when they come and decide to get feisty, you gotta. And he actually takes the stance, like basically a sumo wrestler stance, and they will charge at you, and you gotta grab them by the horns and twist. And he is pantomiming this out, and he is basically explaining grabbing a 800-pound animal by the horns and flipping it on its back.
I think she's like nodding, and she's just, Frankie,
Yeah,
you are teaching me how to do that, but not with a cow.
sure.
Also, I am understanding now why grandfather said that I should sneak in and watch you work.
Yeah, we got. Well. Late summer. Yeah, we'll be shearing them again soon. So you can come by shearing time.
I would love to, though. Is it inside the barn or are you outside?
No, we do it in the corral.
The corral?
It's the little pin of dirt outside of the building.
Right, that's used for something other than being sat on a horse and made to ride in circles. Well, it's absolutely horrible.
Yes.
Right. By the way, this does apply to you, as I will be not bringing you into employ, but I would like your help with it. Grandfather actually gifted me with a bit of land to start my business.
I'm aware.
He did say he spoke with you about that, but still.
Yes. He kind of scratches the back of his head. So my family owns a ranch that's about 60 acres. Well, my parents aren't around anymore.
Oh, I thought he said he had parents.
Oh, he does. They're retired. They've moved out of Pugmire.
Oh, thank God! I thought they died.
No. Well, since they retired and moved out of Pugmire, I've been taking care of it, but I mean, that many acres is a lot for one dog to take care of by himself, and...
Is it your land?
Yes.
Frankie, I can't. It's an honor that you would consider giving some to me, but I...
Oh, I'm not giving it to you.
I think she just kind of... There's a little twitch of her ears. She just...
So, basically, I've added your name to the deed.
I didn't even review that. I just reviewed who it was signed... Frankie.
That was the form to add you to the deed.
I think she doesn't know it. There's the genuine look of being slightly taken aback before she just kind of steps forward. He's still in that weird crouch. It's like the perfect height for her to just kind of like wrap her arms around his shoulders. Thank you, truly.
I am fully committed.
I am as well. By the way, my mare will be coming back within the next few days. Hot Hoof. The one I was able to actually breed to that stallion that we were talking about last time.
Yes.
Well, I want you to take a look at her if possible. You know more about everything, and if you were able to perhaps do checkups on her, you're going to know what you're looking for more than I will.
Of course. I will.
Also, I'm going to tell you this now. She talks. I know I sound crazy. I know I do, but she stomps her. She talks.
He actually holds up a finger. Not the first horse I've known that was that smart.
Right. Well, still, when I'm describing that, it's, you know, she will judge you completely, and I would come dressed perhaps not too nice, but a bit nicer than what you usually wear. She's started to develop a bit of a high taste.
He looks down at his normal farm boy clothing and is like, right, I'll look into it.
I mean, no, not. You don't need to buy anything. I mean, more not what you would, not what's stained, not what you would wear when you're going to go and. I don't know what you do in a barn, Frankie. It's fine. What you're wearing is fine. What you were wearing the first time we met.
Yeah, that was for mucking.
Right. You looked lovely. I thought you looked absolutely pleasant. But again, closer to what you're wearing now.
Understood.
Right. It feels weird to make such a fuss for a horse, but you'll like her. I'm actually planning, I've already made the deal to get the second foal that she bears. With that coupling, yes.
The second born is always the better one.
That's what I was told. I actually will be bringing well-known trainer's name here into employ as well once his contract is finished.
Yep. He is just called King.
I forgot that. I think she'll just insert King there. I already forgot that. It's been so long.
Yep, he knows of King. He's just nodding like, that's perfect. Yeah. Oh, by the way, the foals that are yours, they are being taken care of. Their mother is in my paddock right now. She's very happy. And yeah, they are all 3 spirited.
I'm glad. A spirited horse, from what I've been told, is better for racing. May I make a request of you?
Of course.
It will not be in the coming days, as I'm sure grandfather has informed you of. The ball is coming up. I'm also holding a fete, and there's a lot going on. But I want to see them. Again, if you haven't noticed, I'm not exactly comfortable with animals.
Yeah, I've noticed, and don't worry. As I said, the place is just as yours as it is mine. Come whenever you wish.
Right. Well, I will clear a day, and we will plan it. And she'll kind of like lean back and just give him a smile that's a bit more playful. I will have Sebastian handle your clothing for the ball.
Out of all of the people that work for you and all of your family, he's probably the only one that scares me.
Oh, do not let him know that. He can smell fear.
He nods and like, yeah, I'll do that. But he looks up at the clock tower. I do have to actually get back to work.
Right. I will let you go then.
I take care, and yeah. He kind of stutters a bit and awkwardly kisses you on the cheek before running off.
I was gonna also have Alexandria kiss him on the cheek, so I think it's like he kisses her on the cheek, she goes, and he's already gone.
Yep.
And I think she just is like left standing there in front of the gate, and I think she slowly turns. And I imagine we have a couple of our guards who like are usually waiting at our gate.
They are very tight-lipped.
I think she makes eye contact with them and just, you heard none of that, you saw none of that.
Yeah,
he is not scared.
You try to make eye contact, and they look up immediately. Like, nope, nothing going on here.
I think as she's passing, she just, and if anything is mentioned in the family betting pool about any of this, I will know who mentioned it. And then she's just going to head up to the house to meet up with Rosabella.
Yep. And yeah, we will, before Bayo leaves, we will go ahead and switch over to the ball.
Ooh. Oh, it's so cool. Our house is so fucking pretty.
Ain't magic wonderful? This is the original ballroom that the arm wrestling match took place. But as Sebastian mentioned, there is magic in the ballroom that allows it to change to any style. Also, I'm not sure if this picture is copyrighted.
No one's gonna say anything, and they're not gonna ever watch this video. It's fine.
Oh.
But it has a custom image in it, so it's probably fine.
Possibly.
Yes, the rules of parody.
Yeah.
Hello, yes, we're a bunch of people pretending to be humanoid dogs. This truly is parody. We are
Yup.
changing everything about history.
Yup. Well, this is post-history, post-apocalyptic.
Don't worry about it. We're changing that too. You know, usually you think zombies, you think nothing. No, we're here. We're dogs.
It's dogs have taken over for man.
Exactly.
Yes. As you enter, this is the preparation, and Sebastian is giving you the rundown of the ball. So we have the area. I have extended it for quite a few patrons, and
Of course.
I have procured the entertainment.
Thank you. You went with the classical, if I remember correctly, right?
Yep.
You chose well. May I say something, Sebastian?
Yes.
I truly appreciate all the work that you have put into this, and I do not know what I would do without you.
He hands you a folded fan. I know you have been too busy to actually work on these, so this is yours, and we will be handing them out appropriately. The men will be getting a book, and the women will be receiving a fan.
Of course. As it is at any ball, correct? Again, you know I've never debuted.
Well, your debut was quite a while ago, and it was
It
not a
was.
ball. It was
It
merely a
wasn't.
party. But please review your fan.
She will. I like to imagine her mind's going through all the fan language she learned as a pup, too.
You open the fan up. It's a dance card.
Oh my god! I think she just looks over towards Sebastian with like the biggest eyes of just, you combined the two.
I did. It was something that I read in a history book.
Elaborate.
Well, I was going through my favorite time period, and apparently this was popular. Typically, they are personally made by the attendees or purchased the day of, but I figured it would show a little bit of style.
It does, and it's classical, but it feels modern. A good mix of the two. By the way, with this acting as a dance card as well as the fan, should I be aware of any changes in the language?
No, that should still be as it is.
Right.
Just don't go flashing the written part of your fan to many people.
Or I'm assuming it will make an implication that I wish to dance with them?
Yes.
Or, and as well as they know. Right. Well. And so I know fan language. I don't know if you know fan language, Talon.
I know some. I don't know everything.
I think she just kind of... It's not a perfect translation, but she is going to twirl it in her... No, sorry, I have that backwards. She's going to kind of draw it across her cheek towards Sebastian. That means I love you, but she's meaning it more in the familial way. And just thank you. Closest I have, there's not really a thank you that I was taught.
He will actually take the fan, snap it shut, and tap his lips.
Right. And she'll kind of take it back and copy him. Right. Well, anything else you need me to know immediately? What about the entrance, everything else? Who will be escorting me, the masks, the like?
So it has all been taken care of. Your escort will be both, your escorts will both be Sir Rex and Franklin. It has been decided by lots that they will be left for your first attendant and right for your beau, as it is.
When you say lots, the two of them draw lots on the matter.
I am not at liberty to say.
Can I sense motive, Sebastian? Can I like try
I
and
will warn you now, he has a high DC.
can I try to puppy dog eyes him? I don't think it'll
can
work, but I'd like to puppy dog eyes him.
Yes,
I do have to go.
I am
Oh.
aware. You are free to drop whenever you need to.
Okay. Alright.
Bye, Bayo.
Bye.
What would it be to puppy dog eyes him? Charisma?
It's a charisma check.
Cool. Is that just a flat charisma?
Try persuasion.
Oh
if
hell yeah!
there
I
is a
also get my
persuasion,
there's a persuade and I've never
because
used
you are
it.
trying to persuade him to. Yep.
It's also what I have my proficiency and I'm trained in that.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
You beat the DC by 1.
Oh my god. So I think it's like the cutest she's ever done. Like it's all of her energy. It's literally like her head tips to the sides, like her profile picture, where it's like her little tongue's poking out. Her eyes get so big. Her ears just kind of like fold over a little bit. And she's just Sebastian.
Very well. So there was a queue for your retinue tonight.
Who all wanted to be upon it?
A very, very many.
Of other families?
Other families and some within the household.
Well, I imagine Rosabella, possibly Fiona.
So Lily has actually, she has drawn the third lot.
Right. Is there any way to include? Not in my entrance, as that would it takes away from the point of not being surrounded by an entourage. But since she is the subhead, she's the second head of the family. She handles, the branch.
Yes,
Have you planned to include her in any capacity?
she is included. And while she was wishing to escort you directly as a show of solidarity, we did make a compromise.
And what is that?
She will be escorted by your son.
I think Alexander you can see the mental math in her eyes, and she just. Ollie's going to be attending.
He is part of the noble family, and he is officially adopted by you and Lady Rosabella. So yes, although he will not be attending for the entire festivities, as it will broach his bedtime.
That is what I was going to ask, I know as a pup this would have gone far too long for me. Right, well, I believe that's a good compromise then. I have to ask, and this stays between us. The draw was a bit rigged to prevent anyone from not our direct line, was it not?
Of course.
As I thought. Well, you did well. As for the entrance itself, do I get to know before the reveal what exactly we will be doing, or is that a secret for me as well?
I believe you will be pleasantly surprised.
Of course. Well, it looks like you've had everything prepared, everything is perfect. I have already bought you a bottle of wine, but as soon as you get through it, alert me and I will replace it.
Of course, madam.
And this is... I know that I am not my grandfather, but I want you to know that you are an appreciated member of our family.
Nods to that.
And though I do not have the graces that my siblings do have, and I will admit, though it burns my pride, I can get in my own way sometimes. However, I will not allow that to force me to step on my own tail in this endeavor.
One other thing.
Of course.
And he pulls out a mask that, although this is a masquerade ball and he pulls out a masquerade mask, it prominently has the shape of the Pomeranian family seal.
Is it like in the middle? I imagine it's like a dark...
The mask is the seal.
Oh shit! I think her tail starts wagging and she just winces because she's like, this is not staying off my face anymore. My tail really hurts.
Allow me,
just-
madam, and he will actually wave his hands, and you will take basically 1 stamina point of healing.
Thank you. I appreciate you doing that. I didn't know you could heal.
I can only do that much.
Right, Sebastian, how many secrets exactly are you still hiding?
It would take several lifetimes for me to reveal all of them, madam.
Right, I'm constantly going to be surprised by you, and eventually, once we have time and our life settles and all of the matters that need to be attended to are handled, you're going to be telling me at least some of them, because I am dreadfully curious.
Some things are better left discovered naturally.
Right, fair enough, but she'll hold out her paws. You have outdone yourself.
He will take your paws and kind of give them a gentle squeeze, and rather unbutlerly. That is an awkward thing to say.
I know, it's fine. I get it.
Bend down, not quite a hug, but he will put his chin on your shoulder and stand up and breaking the contact. Now, I do have more to prepare, so you have a busy evening tonight.
That I do. I will get some rest. I do also have an appointment at the salon in about an hour. But she'll give him a smile, and then I think she hesitates for only a second before stepping forward, and she gives him a true hug.
Yep, he will accept it.
Let man be beside you, and let's get this evening over with and make it an absolute success and a statement for the family. And with that, she's going to turn on her heel and just trot. I think she stops in the door and we just, right, Ollie, make sure he gets his bath, has his teeth brushed. I know you've already handled it. And Rosabella, make sure she should, but make sure she gets everything handled she needs to get handled.
Go. I've got everything taken care of.
Yeah, she's just gonna, as soon as he says go, she's gone.
Yep.
And
yeah, he will handle the rest of the festivities for the night. There is an awful lot of sizzling, banging, and clanking happening.
Oh my god. Oh god, that's concerning. Can Alexandria, before her appointment, check in with Ollie real quick?
Yes.
So I think, he's probably in the process of, the maids are going through and being like, you have to make sure you're on your best behavior for tonight, all that. And I think Alexandria will just kind of rap on the door.
Yep, he will, one of the maids will open it up, and he is both going through a dancing lesson and an etiquette lesson.
I think I know that you're incredibly busy as showing that he is prepared for the evening, but can I have him for just a moment?
Of course, ma'am.
Ollie?
Yes?
Come along. And she'll kind of nod her head and turn to walk out.
He will follow behind you.
As they're walking, she'll hold out a paw to him.
He will absolutely take it.
And I think I wish to say something to you. We do not get much time as I would like to communicate. However, Ollie, I'm so thankful that I found you that day at the spa. And I am incredibly happy to have you as a member of our family. I think at that, she kind of stops and turns and crouches down to his height.
I'm happy you found me too, and I've been so happy.
I'm glad you've been happy. Going forward, I'd like for you to continue to enjoy yourself, and once things settle down, I want to spend more time with you. Rosa, Bella, and myself are both your mothers by paperwork, but we do not expect that from you. We do not expect you to see us as such, but I hope that you see us as family.
I do.
And she'll kind of reach out and just gently cup his cheek, give him a little bit of a smile, and after tonight, I will assure that you at least get 2 days off from your lessons, because I know when I was your age, it drove me insane, the amount of work that goes into the prep. It's awful. It's absolutely awful, but it is important. I know that you're thinking it is not. It is truly because you are nobility, and as my son, by paperwork, you are first in line to one day inherit the family.
I will keep that in mind.
Good. And she'll kind of like ruffle his head, like just a little bit his fur, and then just, we have about 5 minutes. Do you wish to get a snack from the kitchens and make sure no one knows we're there?
He looks at the suit he's wearing. I don't want to dirty it.
Right, well, I imagine Alexandria probably has like a little bit of candy in the bottom of her bag, like just something small. She will pick out something that's not messy. I imagine it's just like a butterscotch.
Yeah.
And she will kind of press it into his paws and just.
He'll take it very happily.
Mm-hmm. Now come along then. We better get back to your lessons before they think that I have stolen you away completely and come after both of us. And
Of course.
I am far too old to get dragged into this with you. This is a battle, I am sorry, Ollie, but you will be facing on your own. And I think she just kind of shows him back. And then last thing, she'll go look for Rosabella.
All right. Yeah. She's also getting dressed and being primped and pampered and all of that good stuff.
She probably hates every moment of this.
Definitely. I think it's like the same like little knock on the door, just
Come in.
she'll like open the door slowly, and I think she just sees Rosabella with all the maids, and she just, you look lovely.
Thanks. They're trying their best.
Right, I know all of you are incredibly hard at work, but I do have an emergency I need to steal her with for just a few minutes.
Of course.
Right, come along, Rosabella.
Oh, thank God. Rosabella stands up and just walks out the door.
I think Alexandria politely shuts it behind her and then kind of trots to keep pace with Rosabella, who I imagine is like full speed away from there. And I think she just, Rosabella.
Huh?
I just had a conversation with Ollie, and I thought it appropriate to speak with you as well before this evening.
Mm-hmm.
I do not need to impress on you the behavior that needs to be shown. I do not need to tell you anything else special, but she'll kind of stop and turn and then just kind of wrap her arms around Rosabella.
Rosabella instantly wraps her even tighter.
Yeah, and I think she just, thank you for standing beside me. You will not be
Always.
in my retinue this evening, but I trust that you will have my back in every endeavor.
Always, no doubt. I'll be by your side as long as you'll have me.
And I will have you forever. I did have something else to say. It is not official, but considering that I do not yet have my own pups and Ollie is our son by law, I am thinking of naming him head of the house and doing what grandfather did in the future, testing them all, seeing who's best for the family.
So the term would be heir apparent.
Yeah, he is my heir apparent. I think I'm going to have Sebastian make it official for now. And I wanted to make sure that you were all right with that. You may wish more for him to go your path.
He can go down with it, whichever path he decides.
Exactly. I feel the same. Outside of that, I am giving you just a minute because you looked ready to rip the maids' heads off.
Oh my goodness, they've been fussing all day, and I'm telling them they don't need to do this much. I swear, I feel like I'd be fine. I would look fine without all of this.
Right, but it is proper for you to show up in the proper accoutrement, and don't you want to make a nice show for Luke?
Listen here. He
likes you for you, and you're amazing how you normally are, but this is a special evening. Consider it something for me as well.
I look like a clown.
You don't look like a clown. I think she's like holding her paws up at this point, like just gently, like, give me your face.
Rosabella gently puts her own face in Alexandria's hands.
You look stunning, Rosabella. You are beautiful. The way that they have done your eyes complements your fur. Everything they have done looks amazing. You are just unused to wearing it. You are unused to playing the parts that I normally play. You
At
look
least my
perfect.
dress will be able to move.
It definitely will be able to move, and if you feel like you look like a clown, you have a mask. No one will see really any of this unless you choose to show them, and I swear to you I would tell you if you look bad and I would have the maids fix it. I
know.
cannot have my god looking poor in the face of others,
Mm,
nor my best friend.
thanks.
You're welcome. Now I have given you all the 5 minutes, and I think her ear twitches. If I am correct, they're going to come looking for us at any moment.
I bet I could outrun them.
You would disappoint me if you outran them.
Oh, fine. You go finish getting ready as well.
I have an appointment. And she'll kind of just gently, she still has Rosabella's face, so I think she just kind of presses a kiss to her forehead because her makeup's not done yet. And then she just turns and I trust you're going back to the room, and she'll trot on her way.
I think as Alexandria starts trotting, Rosabella kind of stands there for a minute, watches as she goes, turns her face back towards the direction of the room, and just
echoing in the back of her head, I'll be disappointed in you. I'll be disappointed in you.
and she goes back to the room and just sits down and just.
So finish
it.
As soon as you walk into the room, one of the maids is holding a corset.
If you even think you're going to put that on me, I will refuse. You will have to fight me.
She kind of drops her head in defeat and then pulls out a more sedate slip. Is this better?
Rosabella, though, sits for a minute and just looks and just. I'm gonna hate myself for this. Fine, the corset it is.
Yeah, and yeah, as Alexandria is walking away, you just faintly hear the sound of two maids straining.
I think Alexandria just knows immediately. It's just, yes, I've reached that stage. Rosabella is going to kill me once she finds out I knew they were going there next.
Oh, you better hope nothing happens at this fucking ball.
Yeah.
She's gonna be so bad.
Yeah, after the corset is the stays.
It's gonna be a lot of layers.
She is going to rip it all off. I swear to God.
But yeah, we all get ready. We all look so good.
Yeah, each of you in the household are presented with a mask. And did it? Yes, it did. Okay. I'm working on things, so give me a minute, and
No, you're good.
They're being slow to upload because I'm doing a little bit of skullduggery here.
No, you're good. You're good. It happens. I'm just over here that was so soft.
Did they turn that setting off, or do they just not work in this version? Ignore me for a moment. Technical difficulties.
You're good.
Well, it looks like they might have turned that mode off. So I will just ruin the surprise then, because this is basically time for you to reach the entrance. So Roll20 had the ability to do animated graphics,
Mm-hmm.
and I was trying to grab a couple.
Oh no, it said goodbye.
Well,
Oh, there's one.
the graphics work, but the animation does not.
No, it's working on my end.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, it's like it's throwing up the sparklers.
Yep. Okay. So yes, as you enter and the music kicks into full swing, yes, you enter to the guests have already arrived, as is proper, and your entrance is to yes, pyrotechnics.
Oh shit! I imagine it's like so pretty because it's all the like light coming off of them is catching on every single plastic jewel upon her dress. That she stole from Bayo.
Of course.
I think she also it's like that tight, like not a mermaid cut, but that very classy cut. And then I think also she has. I imagine her grandmother had like some kind of pearl necklace that was gifted to her.
Yes.
She had that cleaned, and that is what she is wearing instead of her mother's. I also think she has paired it with like this really pretty, not a full shawl, but almost like a fur shawl to kind of tie into that like really classy, like nice look. As well as the fact I think she's wearing pearls upon her wrist. I think she's got one arm in Rex's perfectly, the other arm in Frankie's, just being graceful, keeping her grip light. As they are all kind of coming in.
Rex's mask is a stylized dragon.
Oh shit.
And Frankie's mask is a horse, of course.
We all look like a trio. We are such a trio. I love it for us.
I love that all so much.
I love it. There's the Pomeranian symbol, a dragon and a horse. We're making statements.
Oh yeah. So all of the masks in attendance, the people wearing their finest masks, it tends to be a personality thing. So you go by your masquerade mask is by your personality. Ollie's mask, as you see him entering a few moments behind you, it's hard to tell at first glance what it is, and then you see quite clearly that it is it's one of those stylized, not lace, but it kind of looks like lace to form to the face, but it has this roguish bend to it.
He's a little thief boy.
And Lily is wearing, well, it is, it would be more precise to say it is the stiletto of the masquerade type masks.
Oh. I love that. I imagine Rosabella and Luke come next, right?
I forgot she's going with him, being escorted. I forgot.
Luke's is not an easel. The thing that you put the paint on, a palette. That's it. That's the word.
Interesting.
The artist's palette.
Oh, that's so cool.
And
It is
Rosabella,
cool.
yours is the
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we'll proceed until he returns.
Mm-hmm. What does it look like as we're coming in? How are people perceiving us?
It's more, as you are announced and arriving, it's more that moment of awe. You are setting a trend and broaching in this way that people, their eyes are immediately drawn to you.
Oh, shit. This is the first time in Alexandria's life that it has been like that, because the attention always goes to her siblings or Rosabella. I think I like to imagine it's subtle, not enough that anyone would catch it. There's this ever so slight tensing of her grip on her grandfather and Frankie's arm in that moment before it relaxes and she just keeps her chin high. She's trying to be natural about it, like Rex told her to be. She is letting herself try and feel like the head of the family. She is trying to make a statement, to be seen, to be noticed, to be perceived, and to be seen as the head of House Pomeranian.
And as I'm not going to go through all the dancing and all of that because we're running out of time.
It's fine.
Yep. But yes, as the evening wears on and the sun starts to dip below the eaves of the windows, and the music plays on, and the heat of the dance hall starts to become sweltering, there is the sound of shattering glass as the windows are broken in from the outside.
Oh, fuck! I like to imagine Alexandria at that point is with Frankie. Like they were on the dance floor together. What is his reaction to that?
He momentarily freezes, as you can kind of tell from his body posture that he is assessing the situation. But yeah, it is 11:30.
So we're gonna cut it off here.
We're going to cut it off here, and next session there is going to be combat.
Woo!
Yay! We love ourselves some combat, man.
Yeah.
Woo!
All right. Well, thank you everyone for listening, and have a good night.
Good night.